Welcome back to HTX RZR Revival, where we're determined to bring this RZR 800 back to life, one challenge at a time. Today, we ran into more issues trying to get the RZR running, but that's exactly why we're doing this, to discover and fix every problem before buttoning it all back up. We started by installing a brace under the drive shaft bearing, which finally put an end to the rattling we've been dealing with. To keep it protected, we added a fresh coat of Rustoleum since the piece had started to rust. We'll also add a fresh coat of Rustoleum to the top part of the bracket, but first, we wanted to ensure the fix worked. Next, we returned to adjusting the transmission cable, but as we made adjustments, we heard a loud pop, and unfortunately, the drive shaft came out of the front differential. Turns out, we forgot to secure it with the push pin. Luckily, this happened in the garage and not out in the field. With the help of a pry bar, a dead blow hammer, and some anti-seize, we got the drive shaft back into place. Thanks to a trick we learned on RZR 800 Nation, we replaced the push pin with a bolt and lock nut washer for easier removal in the future. But the battle wasn't over. As we kept adjusting the trans cable, frustration set in. And just as we were about to call it a night, we noticed one of our coolant lines was smoking and leaking. At this point, it was clear we needed to take a break to cool off and regroup. We'll be spending some time figuring out how to get the transmission shifting properly and tracking down the cause of that coolant leak. And we also ordered another shift cable just to eliminate any doubts. Day 2 felt like deja vu, but we did learn a bit more about the trans cable adjustment. Turning the nut counterclockwise moves it towards high gear, while clockwise takes it back towards park. We even swapped back to the OEM RZR Shifter to see if it would help, but it seems we're just still a little shy of getting it into high gear. After installing the new shift cable, we found that the bolts were too big to fit into the bracket by the transmission. So we've ordered 3 more to test and see which one works best, so you don't have to. If none of these cables do the trick, we might have to bite the bullet and buy the OEM shift cable. And if that still doesn't work, we'll be faced with pulling the transmission out again, which is what started this whole journey in the first place. We're taking the weekend to regroup, but come next week, we'll be back at it. So stay tuned as we continue our mission to get this RZR road ready. Remember, we're not mechanics, just RZR enthusiasts determined to bring this machine from rust to rev. HTX RZR Revival, turning rust into revs, one ride at a time.